Hey all, Matt here, Bobcat Bonsai, and today we're going to trim up our Mugo pine and get it repotted into this lovely little pot here. You'll get to see it then in a little bit. So, I'm just going to make this intro brief, that's about it, and let's get to it. Alright, so here's our little Mugo, and to start out, I'm not really planning on doing any root work because they say with the Mugos you shouldn't do root work and trimming at the same time, so I'm just not going to do that. Looks like there's actually a lot of air pockets inside here anyway, so let's just try to get this opened up just a little bit. I just want to see some more of this trunk line, see where the roots begin, is about it here. So that's where we're going to begin our work, is just getting down in here a little bit. And then we're just really carefully. So the one thing I really like about these root hooks is they have a nice round edge up at the top, so you don't have to worry about cutting through the roots as much as it just kind of hooks in and helps pull them out a little bit. You are going to break some, that's bound to happen, but for the most part you're not going to do a lot of damage. You're just getting in and working it out. So it looks like this thing was buried in pretty deep down at the trunk area. I am going to have to do a repot here soon on my 3 elms. The Hokkaido elms. I'm gonna have to do a repot on those soon because they have some kind of bug down inside the soil that was there when I got them, and I don't want them hatching and destroying my tree. So, or trees, because there's three of them in there. So let's just get this opened up a little bit, and we may do a little bit of light root trimming just to make sure that it fits in the pot, but nothing major. Maybe not, because it looks like this thing's dropping pretty low in here as far as what the roots are looking like. Wow. Okay, so there's a thick root right there. So that's going to be one to figure out exactly where this one's coming from and where is it going, and how can we best unravel it without doing too much damage. So let's flip it and open it. All right, so that actually got us in here pretty good ways. So we have this one big old root right there that's just growing around in a big circle. Sorry, I'm just trying to get in here and get this sorted out real good. That way we can begin to process this a little bit. Okay, this root is right here. Okay, that's the one big one that was just wrapping everywhere, which looks to be almost like a taproot, I believe. But I'm not for certain sure that that's the case. Oh, I did not want to do a lot of root work with this, but boy. Boy, oh boy. All right. Think. That's what I gotta do here. Gotta get this all opened up here. Okay. Alrighty, so we got this all out. Let me clean this up and then we'll get back and do some root trimming here. I didn't even realize I never fixed my backdrop for you guys, so sorry about that. Alright, so as we can see here, we've got one main root here. We have one main root here. One here, one here, and one here. So all in all, it's super tough. This one I cannot get rid of. There's way too much down on there. There's way too much on all of these to actually get rid of much of anything at all. But I think we're just gonna have to take a chance here and trim some of this back and just see what happens. I've heard a lot of absolutely awful stories about this, but I think I just have to try and see what we get. So we'll start off with this one right over here, and the first one we're going to take is these thicker roots. So we're going to get rid of the thick root and just try and leave some of this thinner stuff and just trim that back a little bit. Sorry I reached right in front of you there. And I think that'll give me a chance to at least sort of get this into a shape and then moved. So here I have 3 different roots. I have 1, 2, and then one right down the middle, which is the third one. So based off of this little guy, I'm going to end up cutting this one back to here, because that'll stop it right before a lot of these little thin pieces here. This one doesn't seem like it's got too much going on, so I will take that one back. Then we have this one right here, which also doesn't seem like it has much going on in front of this one small root, so we'll trim that and leave just the little feeder root on there. The next one we're going to go into is going to be this big one right here, and this one has some really nice roots on it. So I think I'm just going to take this one back to here, and I've taken off way more root than what I should have, but I don't know what else to do, in all honesty, because I've got to try to sort something out here. Let's see. Let me grab some wire here, because I have a feeling we're going to end up having to wire out these roots in order to get them to go where we want them to. So to start that direction, this is just aluminum wire, and I'm just going to take it, and for the time being I'm going to use the trunk as a support as I just begin to wrap this. And really that's all I want right there, just a little bit, so that I can bring this out and have a little bit of control over the root itself. Ah, that's not gonna work. Alright. We're just gonna have to come up with the control as we are getting it potted up and in there. Alright, so let me grab up the pot and we'll get right to this one. Alright, so we grabbed up our gorgeous pot here from Blue Nose Trading. I'll put a link to them down in the description of this video. Definitely check out their site. Candace, especially you said you want to try to switch to all American made pots and things like that. Well, Tori is making pots out of Texas, so there is some American made pots for you. Let's see. Now we just gotta get some soil to go inside this nice little pot here. So we're gonna put some coarse soil down at the base here, some coarse bonsai soil, and that's the soil that I got from Superfly Bonsai. And then the other soil I'm going to end up using with it is going to be Fox Farms Ocean Forest potting soil. So it'll have some nice little extras in there for it. So I'm just going to take and mix the coarse with this a little bit inside the pot. Get a nice little mound in here. And then I know we normally want to center these into the pot, but I don't know, I kind of wanted to offset it back. But maybe that's just a silly thought on my end for wanting to do that. So I'll center it. Let's just bring this in here and get the tree tied in just a little bit. Alright, so now we're tied in a bit, and we're just going to begin to take these roots and position them where we want them to go. And then I'm going to keep the wire upwards because I'll end up twisting it in tighter then. So we're going to have this nice little bit right here. Alright. So now I just gotta get this wire twisted up nice and tight, hold the tree down in place for me. So I feel pretty good about that. I'm just gonna take a little nip just to take this back slightly shorter here. And push that down into the soil as well. I'm going to end up just cutting this root here. And just continuing to feed this around these edges here. I do want this to sit slightly angled, like so. So let's just get some more soil in here. Just to really get this packed in. All right, looking good. Now I'm trying to just get soil packed behind it, so it's mostly the soil holding this in and not the wire. I want the soil to be the predominant source of power for holding this. Okay, so I'm actually pretty happy with that right there. I know it's not perfectly centered in this pot, it's actually set back a little bit, but I kind of like it like that. Long-term choices on this tree. I'm thinking I'm gonna probably end up cutting it back in there. Probably. But I'm not 100% certain yet. So we're just gonna come in and just trim off some of the smaller stuff that's back in a little bit closer for now. Open up a little bit of airflow inside here. Get the air and the sun in, and hope that this little guy gets a chance to take off. It looks like we're beginning to overbuild in here, so we're gonna come in and nip that one. And that one. Sorry, just trying to get it cleaned up a little bit so that we're not completely overfilled in one spot, because we don't want that either. So we're just going to come through here just a little bit more and just trim up a few more pieces. And again, worst case scenario, I may be learning a very hard lesson on over trimming this little tree. Definitely a very plausible scenario on what could happen here from what I've heard about them. But sometimes I think it's worth a shot to learn the hard way ourselves in certain situations. Let's see here. Sorry, just doing a little bit of cleanup inside here. So through that cleanup, I think I'm also going to come in and take that side piece off as well. That one and this one on the other side over here. So I took off the bigger branches and left these smaller ones. And the reasoning behind that was so that I can wire it up better and just get everything going just a little bit smoother through here. All right. So that is looking pretty good for right there. I'm not even sure I have a wire that's going to be strong enough out here to wire this one up. So I may actually let this heal for now, and then I'm going to later take this up and bring this back one down, bring this one down, and I'm probably going to have to get rid of this branch altogether. So then this one in the back will be brought around and give us our little shape here. So let's see. Oh, you guys are about to hate me for this one. I'm about to use green aluminum wire on this tree, but that's okay. It's gonna be okay. As I make a mess everywhere, it's gonna be okay. So I'm just going to come around here and just go over. No, that was a bad wrap across the back. So I'm going to just have to bring it around and then over. Then come up in front of this little branch right here. And then bring it over. get rid of just a few more of these little pines in here. A few more needles. There we go. Alright, so now I know it doesn't look spectacular, but that's going to give us what we're going for here, and that is the turn. We're going to bring it down and then back up and then back down, which is going to be the control on that branch right there. Alright, so now that we've got that one taken care of, we will come in here and wire out these two little branches. Sorry about that, a big old truck just went by. And this is going to be a loose wiring, and yes, the needles are going to be slightly underneath it, but that's okay because we're going to leave it nice and loose for them to grow. We just want to be able to begin to control the direction of these branches. That's all. So from there, that's just going to allow me to get these branches. I'm going to bring one down just a little bit and the other one down and then back up. So I feel good about that. And I've got this soil is super dry, so I'm gonna have to get this watered up here soon. Alright, so I'm happy with this. Again, this one I'm probably gonna end up having to cut off, so this might be it honestly for this season. I'm not sure I can do too much more without causing some worse damage. I take it back. I'm going to cut this piece off right here. Okay. So that's now going to allow me to get this one up. This one's going to go away. So let's look at it from this angle right here. Okay. So we have this one coming out this way. That coming out that way. This is all gone right here. This one's going to come up. And we're going to begin to form our triangle right inside there. We'll do some more work with these then at some point. But for the time being, all I'm going to do now, apply some cut paste, water it down, and then we'll take a final look at it. Alright, I'll be right back with you. Alright, so hope you all enjoyed that video. Hopefully this Mugo stays alive and I did not over torture it. All we can do is hope for the best. I mean, the buds are just beginning to swell up a little bit, so I think it'll be okay, but I've never done work on one, and everybody I've heard that does work on them says they're an absolute nightmare. So fingers crossed, everything's going to go good, it's going to thrive, and it's going to be a happy little tree inside this new little pot here. Hope you enjoyed that little 360 tour around it. If you do really like that pot, again, check out Blue Nose Trading. They make some spectacular little pots and a lot of other cool things as well. So again, thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the thumbs up. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe to my channel. And if you really enjoy my content, you should hit the bell notification so you can be notified every time I release a new video. Thank you.